Alright guys, so I'm here to look at the BYD, the newly released BYD 08 or 08. I'm going to do a first walkthrough here. We look up there, we have the radar sensor, and then on the windshield there are some cameras for rain sensing wipers and safety and that kind of thing. You have a nice windshield with nice bezels on the edges, and you can see it's got a very clear windshield, very wide as well. We come to the bonnet area. It's a relatively wide bonnet with some creases here on the edges, kind of bulges out, makes it look really nice and sporty. And as we go down here, we got a BYD badging here. Nothing new there. We got a number plate placement area, and then we got a camera sitting right above it. And underneath here we have the beautiful grille and this piano black material. And as you can see in there are some doors as well, which will open when ventilation is needed. You got your proximity sensors integrated there, looking really nice. I'll show you the frunk. To open the frunk, you just hit twice, and it's gonna, this is not the first time. Neo has done it already, and this is also carried forward to this BYD 08. And once it opens, it has a very wide boot lid, I would say, and there are some nice carpet insets there to help with sound deadening and all that kind of thing. When it does open, it has a very wide big boot space, up to 160 liters of space, very wide. And there's an outlet here for water to pass out, and you can see it can carry up to a maximum of 50 kilograms of weight. So that's really neat. And around it, you can see that it's got some nice rubber seals to prevent water from getting in there on those stubborn rainy days. And to lock it up, there are two ways. You can lock it up by pressing this button, or you can do that by pressing this button on the side just below the rear view mirror. And as you can see, it's electronic gates, and I'm going to use this button here to shut it. So to shut it, I just press that button and it's going to go down and shut automatically, so you don't have to do it manually. Now we go on to the headlamps, and you can see very beautiful daytime running lights. And when I get close, you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's some nice detail here in the lighting on this side and on this edge area as well. Maybe you can see it better here. And there's a secondary light up there which doubles as your turn signal light. Very nice daytime running light area. And then we come below that and we have the main head beams, high beam, low beam. And you also have another one down here which serves as your fog light. And you have some crystallized lights coming from the black bezel area, giving it some nice premium look. And you can see this part here is angled inwards, looking really beautiful. Now if I go to the side, we can see our tire here coming from Michelin in size 245/45 rim 19, sitting on this beautiful spoked wheel here, BYD right there. And in there you have very thick brake disc with your nice thick brake caliper. You got your air suspension going on there. It's lowered right now, so we can't really see it, but both front and rear come with air suspension. In the wheel well, we get some nice carpet material to help with sound deadening. And if we go to this side, we have a rear facing camera for the safety autonomous driving features. And then we have this chrome material here, panel here, and this is the button I showed you earlier for opening and closing. If we look on the rear view mirror itself, we have two cameras here. So we have one here and one there, and we also have lighting underneath and some sensors here. You get a turn signal light bar, which also doubles as your autonomous driving blue illumination. That is a standard for Chinese cars. So let me just step back and we can see the full length of this car. Looks beautiful, almost looks like the Mercedes EQS, I believe. But let's move on. So when we look at the top of the rear view mirror, we have NFC of card entry, and you can also scan your phone to have access to the car. You got a conventional style mirror, and then you got proximity sensor right there. And if we come to the door area, to open the door itself, you just place your hand in there. There is a sensor in there that will pop it open. But when the electronics fail, that same sensor area, you can push it in and then it's going to unlock. So that's a really neat feature. And the doors, both front and rear, are soft close doors as well. So let me just do that again. So you saw that right there. And we'll go around the car before we come to the interior. And when we look down here, we got a piano black material, and in the middle is a chrome material to give it very nice luxury touch. Now let's move on to the rear. Same going on for the rear doors, soft close doors as well. It has a main window here and a secondary one right here, and then another blacked out panel here on the rear. Now if we look as we go towards the back, it bulges out here, giving it this muscular sporty look. And we come to the rear, we have same Michelin Primacy all-season tires in 245 45 rim 19, same tire size, same wheel design, and same wheel well carpet material as well. As we go to the rear, we can see that it goes all the way down, giving it this nice look. Proximity sensor indicator here. We got a rear light assembly here, which starts from the left, breaks off here, continues all the way to the other side. We got an EV indicator here. You got your BYD badging, not sitting on the body, but behind this plastic material that covers the lighting assembly. And as we go below that, we got a camera here, your number plate placement area. And as we go down, you can see your lighting going on. So reverse lights here. You got your autonomous driving light here. You got fog lights here, and on the other side you got a reflector. So what you see there is what you're going to see on the other side. Pardon me, I can't move too far back because there is a wall right behind me. And we go onto the right side, you can see your 08 badge here. And if we look up there, we got a camera coming off the back of the roof, and the rear window is blacked out from factory. And also slapped on is this nice plastic material that goes from the left to the right. So overall, I would say it has a pretty rear end. And if I go to the right side, it's going to be basically the same as the left side, with the exception of the charging. So the charging is on the right. I like that it has this conventional locking system, not electronic. And when that opens, you have your fast and slow charging ports here. You get a lights there too for visibility at night. And when you're done charging, you just push it back up. I like all these conventional old school stuff rather than the electronic one. So now let's move on to the interior, starting from the boot. So to open the boot, there's a conventional button here. You pull it. It's not a hatchback, it's a salon type opening. But when it does open, we look at the interior of the boot lid, and it's nice thick carpet material. You got a button here to lock the boot height, and then you also got a button to automatically shut the boot. But when it does open, this is the amount of space you have in there. It's very, very deep, but not being a hatch, you'll have to bend. So if you have waist problems, this might not be the best configuration for you. But this is a very nice boot size, I would say. And you can see that you got a pass through there in the middle. So when you're in the rear seat, you can fold that down and you can move. You can pass longer items through there. I think they're considering the fact that most people who buy this car are people who will be going for golfing and fishing and those kinds of activities. But the interior of the boot itself is completely carpeted in this nice thick carpet material. On the left side, there is a speaker grill and boot lighting, two boot lightings on the top there, as we can see. And if we go down here, we lift this false floor, we have a little extra space here where you can, it's not much, you just drop bits and pieces there, but the boot space itself is enough for this kind of car. So I don't think lack of a lot of extra boot spacing is going to be a problem. But the boot itself is not that high, so even if you're a short person, it's going to be easy to load things in and out, even for little kids. And to shut it, you just press that and it's going to shut automatically, of course. So very nicely done. Let's move on to the back seat. So we're checking out the back seat of this car. Now, if I open the door, we can see that the windows are double glazed, so it's going to help with sound deadening, and they are blacked out from factory as well, so you don't have to do it aftermarket. And if we look, let me just pull it down for extra lighting. Up here we got this nice soft material, feels like Napa leather, very nice stitching here, and they've got this ambient lighting hiding underneath there, which just shoots up, and it's got this nice material here. Not know how to describe it. Looks like this hard linoleum sort of shell design, seashell sort of material. And then out here you got an aluminum trim sitting on the edge. You got a real physical door opening handle here, nice speaker grill here, another one down there, and then you got your button for raising and lowering the window like we just saw. This button here controls the seat recline, and I like that it's designed like a seat as well, and it's got these nice design patterns here which are very grippy, so your hands are not going to slip. So that's very nice, all sitting on this nice assembly here, plastic in the middle with aluminum around it, looking very beautiful. And if I just move that button I talked about, you can see that you can recline the seat forward and back, so that's really neat. And over here you have a space here to hold to shut the door, and it also can double as a small storage area. And you go down, you have your door pockets here for storage. It's not lined with felt, but the plastic is not plasticky, if you know what I mean, so things are not going to rattle about. But besides that area, everywhere you touch is some nice soft material. Now the door itself opens to about, I would say, 75 degrees. It's got a nice wide opening here, nice door seals here, very nice wide opening, BYD badging here. And if we look at the seats itself, very nicely designed, perforated, very wide seats, nice design pattern here. You also got on the headrest these flaps here where you can hook on some neck rests and that kind of thing. The seat belts also match the color of the seat itself, and you got airbags integrated in the seats, so that's very good for those accident emergencies. And I like that the seat belt is not just hanging there, but it's got this pass through here, so it's not going to be snapped by the seat in any way. Very nice design, very spacious, I would say. And if I just go forward, you can see how spacious and bright and big the seats are. So even the middle seat is not going to complain. Got isofix anchor points on both window seats, and you just move this flap to it to reveal the locking system. I like that the seat belt hooks are recessed into the seat, so it's not going to be in the way. Now, if I just sit in the car at 183 centimeters tall, I have more than enough leg room. Very spacious in this car. And here you have this hole here where you can hook on a bracket where you can hang off your iPads and tablets and things like that. And then you got seat pockets. You got the storage area behind the seat where you can place files, newspapers, magazines, if that's still a thing in this modern age. But sitting here, the seats are very comfortable. Headroom is good as well. At 183 centimeters, I think I have the headroom is more than enough for me. And if we look up here, we got a grab handle here, nicely damped. You got a speaker hole here. You got a speaker grill nicely hiding behind this fabric material. You got your rear interior lighting, which can be changed. The intensity of the light can be changed as well. And you got a glass roof here in the rear, and it breaks off here. And then there's another one in the front, and they both have sunshades which you can open. I'll try to do that when I get to the screen. So basically what you see on my seat is also what you're going to see on the other seat, but you can see how, maybe even on the camera, you can see how spacious it is. And if you look down here, most of the systems are turned off, but you got your air vents here which are very tactile. And if we go down here, you got two charging ports, one type A, the other type C. And when you press here, it reveals this storage area which is lined with felt. So whatever you drop in the coins, everything hard stuff are not going to rattle about. And if you look at the seat behind the front passenger, you have that same bracket area, but you have a dedicated table for the rear passenger, which is really cool. If you don't need this table, You just push it back in place and it doesn't rattle. And down here you got another storage area. So overall in the rear, very nice spacing. And I believe that it's not a complete piece of glass on the top because I'm sure there's some framing underneath here to give it some rigidity and stability. And up here you got some hooks here for hanging clothes and jackets and things like that. So this car could be for executive use and also for family use as well. Very, very spacious. Now let's move on to the front. Now let's get in the front passenger door. So if I open the door, it opens, I would say up to about 85, almost 90 degrees, and double glazed as well. Same configuration, I would say. As you go further down, I can see there's an extra pocket here. The speakers are coming from the Violet. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, this is a very premium speaker brand here. And as we get inside, we can see the front passenger seat has the usual conventional buttons here. But if I push this, you can see it's got cowl support, which is just popping out now. And you can pull it back. And you can pull it back in. And you also have gravity seat, and you press that and you can activate a gravity seat function. As you can see, it's going into the lay-in position. Very nice. And when you want to return it, you just, we can see it's extending the cowl support as well. And if you want to return it to the position, you just press it once. For some cars you have to press and hold, but this one just press once and it will activate the whole system. But when that is out of the way, you get a very wide seat as well, and the side bolsters are not as high as I would have wanted them to be, but they are adequate, I believe. And then on the side you have more pronounced, more protruding ones to help with your upper body. But as you can see, there's, even before you hit the cushions, there's a lot of bounciness to the seats. In there you have your massage balloons in there. And if we look at this headrest, you got speakers hidden in the headrest that can direct sound to just that passenger sitting on this seat. So very, very nice configuration here in this beautiful color. If I just sit in the seat here, very nice, soft, bouncy seats, I would say. Very comfortable to sit in. On the top of the front passenger, you got a grab handle here. You got a speaker right on the top, and then you got a microphone hole here. So music is going to come to you very, very nicely and pronounced. And if you pull down the sun visor, you have a vanity mirror with the lighting around it, and you just push it back up. On the A-pillar, you have a speaker grill there. And if we come down here, we got this layered dash design here, and at the top there comes in this gray nice design. And then as we go down, we got that same seashell sort of material that we saw on the door with the lights protruding. So these ambient lights are not going to be in your face, they're just going to reflect off here. You get your air vents right here, easy to see. And then you got these two aluminum strips here, and as we come further down, there's another aluminum strip here, and you get a glove box, very conventional mechanism here, which I like very much. Nothing electronic, and inside is lined with felt, and it's a very, very wide space as well, very usable. And because it's lined with felt, whatever you put here, hard items, it's not going to rattle about, so that's really cool. And if you don't need it, you just press that. And I like that the design is perpendicular to your knees, your legs, so it's not going to be cramped here even for taller passengers. And if we look down here, we got a hook here to hang things off. I'm not sure where you're going to hang here, because if you have your legs here, your knees are so close, so what would you hang here? But hey, it's there if you need it. And if we look down here under the center console, there's extra storage space here. You got a 12-volt socket here. You got two charging ports here, one type A and one type C. And then you also have these inlets here for car perfumes and stuff like that. Now, as you can see, at this height, the headroom is not great, I would say, but if you just recline your seat a little, you will be fine. So that's it for the front seat. Now let's move on to the driver's seat. So let's get in the driver's seat, and I would say the driver's seat, yes, it doesn't open as much as the front passenger seat because it's not really needed. But when the driver's seat opens, we can see that there's a dedicated button here to open the boot. And we also have, obviously the driver has more functions here to control child lock, all the windows, all the mirrors, that kind of thing. But the design of the door is basically the same as the other one I showed earlier. And the buttons, seat buttons are also the same. The driver's door, interestingly, also has the gravity seat function here. The design is basically the same. If I just sit in the driver's seat here, let's start from the top here. So we have our interior lighting here. We got SOS button. You got these, like I mentioned earlier, so you can open the, so you can see they both open inward. And if I just press the shut, you can see the rear one is moving backwards. And if I push this, the front one is going to shut as well. Pardon me for the camera angle. So it's nice that you can control them independently. And if we come here, we have the same sound visor that the front passenger had. Speaker grill above the driver's head, microphone. And interestingly, the driver doesn't have a grab handle. Obviously, your hand is going to be on the steering wheel. But let's come down. And once we come down to the dash area again, we got the speaker grill there. And as we move further to the left, you get this nice design pattern here. And up here, there's a speaker grill here, and there's a sensor here to monitor the driver's level of tiredness. And as we come down to this dash area, it has this nice design. It kind of protrudes out, and underneath it is this huge screen here for the driver. Some cars don't even have their main infotainment screen as big as this one. And as you can see, once you open the door, it populates a camera here so you can see what's traffic that's coming behind you. So that's really cool. But you can see the size of this screen is going to provide a lot of information for the driver right in front of them. There's no HUD, but that's not necessary because you have this big screen here. And as we go to the left, we have a vents here, and you have these screw here that you can undo and screw in some sort of phone bracket. This is something many Chinese cars are doing now. And then here you got I like this, a storage area for wallets and little things like that you want to hide away from the public. Now if we look here, this car doesn't come with a fridge. The top spec one comes with a fridge, but this one comes with a very deep storage area, which is lined with felt as well, so things are not going to rattle about. And it also doubles as a hand rest here, so, and it's of a very good height, I would say, for resting your hands and your elbows for both front passengers. And then here you got cup holders here, 2 cup holders, and you got another storage area here as well. And to shut it, it's got this nicely damped mechanism. If you don't need it, you can close it, and if you need it, you just push it out of the way. Erasers is underneath there, giving it a neat look. And if we look up here, we got our ignition button, we got hazard button, we got a parking. I'm not sure what this is. You got a window or windscreen defogger, and you have extra control toggle buttons here. And if we look right in front of it, you got a 50-watt wireless charging pad, and you also got another storage area for your tissues and things that you want to put there. And up here you got some air vents here, and I like that it's placed here so the wind is going to come directly to you can direct the wind. If these perforations here for ventilation are not enough, you can have the AC cool your phone. And then we go on to the steering itself. You got your turn signal button here, which also doubles as your wiper, and then your lighting controls. And then on the right you got your lever here to change gears. And if we just look at the steering wheel, it's a conventional style steering wheel, very nice size to hold, just flatten a little bit on the bottom. And then we got our horn here in the middle, and on the left you got these swivels here or rotors here, and you can see it's got physical buttons for the voice control and all those kind of functions, phone call, forward, back, 360 camera, favorites button, all that kind of stuff. And you got a paddle here for extra controls. And up here you got a regular mirror, not controlled by any of the cameras, just a regular mirror. I believe it's self-dimming. And if we come to this infotainment screen itself, it's not a big infotainment screen. Being a white car, I would have wished that the screen was a little bigger, but hey, the focus is not on the screen, it's on the driving experience. But let's look at what this screen is made of. Just note that there is a film covering it, so we might not see the real resolution. But as we all know, Chinese cars have very good resolution nowadays. So you got your home button here where you can do your changes. You got your lighting controls here. Being BYD, the language can be changed into English anyway. So you got lighting controls here where you can control the internal and external lights. You got your seat controls here, ventilation, heating, and you got massage as well. You got temperature controls here. And you got your settings, main settings here. You can go and do all the settings in the car. And then you got your mapping here, and you got a music app here. You got this one to populate all the apps that you got installed, and you can install more apps as well. And then you also got dual zone climate control. You got a dedicated one for the passenger, and you got a defogger here, and you also got on and off button here. Up here you got a profile button, and then on the right side you got your connectivity buttons here. So I would say it's got adequate controls here for to make anyone feel comfortable. And if we look down here, that same storage area underneath the center console is also accessible by the driver. Very wide space to put things. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm truly grateful. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow this channel together. Till I see you in the next video guys, ride legal, ride safe always. Peace, and I'm out.